Greetings fellow 50p coin collectors, Coin Snatcher here, and an update tonight on the 50p collection. So in front of us we have a 1980 Isle of Man exhibition 50p. Comes in a little grey wallet, which I'm sure any of you collectors will be familiar with. There's a little bit of information there about the exhibition and about the coin, but the important thing is it's a limited edition of 20,000. The coin itself is displayed in a little blue card. I've taken it out of the card just to make it a little bit easier to show you folks. So on the obverse we have the Elizabeth II inscription, 1980 at the bottom, and we have the really nice Arnold Machin portrait. And the first thing that strikes me about this coin is the condition of it. It's a splendid looking coin, looks really nice. Considering that this coin is 45 years old, it's in really nice condition. It actually looks better in the flesh than it does on the camera. But these coins were minted to celebrate the Viking exhibition in 1980, which was in New York, and there were several different versions of this coin struck. All the coins have an edge inscription, and the edge inscription starts under the Queen's head. It says 1980. Odins Raven, Viking exhibition, New York, and then back to 1980 again. So the edge inscription is a standard one, and it's the correct way up in relation to the Queen's head. But the reason for purchasing this coin is that if you went to the Isle of, or if you went to America and you purchased this coin in the Viking exhibition itself in New York, when you scroll in on it, and it's a splendid looking design, you have the Viking longship there in full sail and the waves underneath, and a little bit that says Day of Tindwall, July the 5th. If you zoom in on the front of the ship, this coin has an A.B. diemark. Now if you bought this coin in New York, it would have an A.C. diemark, and generally the A.C. diemarks are the ones that you would see most of. However, having either an AA or AB diemark means that it was sold in the UK, and you didn't have to go all the way to New York to get this coin. So having an AB coin or an AA coin, in my humble opinion, is slightly harder to get than having the AC diemark coin, which is the general one that most collectors will have. Beautiful looking coin, really nice condition. As I say, with all the coins, I was going to put it on eBay and resell it, but considering there's probably not that much profit to be made on it, I might just keep it in the collection and pop it up in the shelf by itself and give it its own little space. But we'll see how that goes. So that's the first coin that I've added to the collection tonight. And the second coin, well, it's a set of 5 coins, and this time it's from the British Antarctic Territory, and it's penguin 50p's. So before we get to the 50p themselves, this is the certificate of authenticity that came with the 50p's. So it's a 2019 penguin set. It's issued by the British Antarctic Territory, and it's limited to 950. So a really low mintage for these coins makes them reasonably rare and reasonably valuable as well. I had to fend off a few strong bids on eBay to make sure that I could secure these coins for the collection. Now the interesting thing with this COA is that it has this hologram type bit on the side which says British Pop Joy Mint. I've never come across one of these before, so this is a first for me. Certainly different looking, but it looks quite cool. But that's the certificate that comes with it. Normally with these coins you would get an individual certificate for each coin, but for this particular set the certificate covers all 5. So let's have a look at the coins. We have the Gent 2 penguin, we have the Adelie penguin, we have the Chinstrap penguin, the Macaroni penguin, and we have the Emperor penguin. Now, before doing the video, I had a little look at the die marks on the coins, and the die marks are quite interesting on these coins, because if we have a zoom in on them, we can see the die mark on this coin. It's just down here to the left of the foot of the penguin. But if we have a little zoom in further on that, it's a DA die mark. And if we go to the next coin, it's a DB die mark. And then if we go down to the bottom of the next coins, DB die mark again, DB die mark, and DB die mark. So quite unusual, because the DB die mark doesn't appear on any other Pubjoy coins as far as I'm aware. Now, I'll caveat that by saying that it may appear on the 2014, 15 or 16 Milner's Tower 50p, because they had a lot of die marks on those years. So it's possible there might be a DB die mark somewhere in there. But DB to me is quite a strange die mark. There would normally be DA. So it's a little bit of interest there on this. Now, we do have the penguin box, but the penguin box of 50p's is only for the Falkland Islands 50p's. So this set of 50p's is going to go on little stands, and it's going to go on the shelf. I think I'm up to date now with all the Isle of Man, the Falkland Island penguins and the territory penguins as well, because you have South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands, and then you have the British Antarctic Territory ones as well. Now, I know from speaking to a fellow collector that this particular set does have different die marks on it, so it may be worth keeping an eye out on eBay to see if another set comes up with alternate die marks as well. But from now, I'm quite happy to add these into the collection, and we'll see where we go from there. But that's tonight's update over. We've got 5 very rare penguin 50p's, and we got that beautiful looking Odins Raven 50p from the Isle of Man as well. That's it for this video. Peace and love. Coin Snatcher out.